The city of Los Angeles is tonight surrounded by ferocious fires, and the famous Hollywood Hills are ablaze. Panicked residents are fleeing for their lives as mansions burn to the ground, whole neighbourhoods wiped out. The toll is mounting, at least 5 lives lost and 2,000 buildings destroyed as the powerful Santa Ana winds fan fires still out of control. Tonight, there are 6 major fires burning from Santa Monica on the coast to the San Fernando Valley. US correspondent Lauren Tomasi has been on the Sunset Fire ground in the Hollywood Hills and begins our coverage.
It could be the scene out of a Hollywood blockbuster, but this is real.
This thing is blowing up before our eyes. It is a very sizable fire that is spreading rapidly.
The famous hills above Tinseltown ablaze and multiple houses on fire.
Oh, and look at that. This home now collapsing.
The view from West Hollywood and the 9 News office, the threat bearing down on the streets below, including Hollywood Boulevard.
What's it like up there?
It's terrible. The fire came that you could see it moving down the hill.
Usually it's a magnet for tourists wanting to see the Hollywood sign and the houses. Tonight, it was exit stage left.
Residents here in the Hollywood Hills have been told to get out, but with police blocking the roads and thousands of people trying to make their way down this hill, it is just so clogged on the roads. And this evacuation zone extends right down, as you can see there, to the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
20 minutes drive away, the community of Altadena had already been in the path of this urban wildfire.
I've always heard of wildfires happening here, but they've never been this close that I've seen to the city. It's insane.
LA is on fire.
It is actually on fire. It's no joke.
It's not bush burning, but houses and businesses and lives have been lost. Officially, the death toll stands at 5, but this fire emergency, one of the worst ever, is refusing to back down.
Southern California is continuing to endure some of the most historic fire conditions on record.
Well, this is not over, long from over.
These houses are creating a domino effect. The fires are moving so fast it is impossible for crews to keep up with. They've been trying to protect this property here. It's about to go up in flames.
It erupted in the night, neighbourhoods under ember attack. It was time to get out.
You can barely see 5 feet in front of you. It's like Armageddon.
A few kilometres south in Pasadena, it was a scramble to survive, but none more so for the less abled, fleeing the flames and hurricane-force winds in wheelchairs.
I'm surprised all of us got out of there, to tell the truth.
Different streets, same story. And there was panic in the air. The middle of winter, and counties and communities were anything but prepared for a summer threat. And the mayor of Los Angeles was underprepared as the questions flew.
Do you owe citizens an apology for being absent while their homes were burning? Do you regret cutting the fire department budget by millions of dollars, Madam Mayor?
Watching on, a president in waiting who was quick to point the finger.
What's happened is a tragedy, and the governor has not done a good job. With that being said, I got along well with him when he was governor. We worked together very well, and we would work together. I guess it looks like we're going to be the one having to rebuild it.
Tonight, an epic battle is underway, Hollywood under threat, and how it ends has the world on the edge of its seats. In Altadena, Lauren Tomasi, 9 News.
Our US correspondents Lauren Tomasi and Jonathan Kersley have been on the ground day and night. First to Lauren in Altadena. And Lauren, are firefighters making any headway?
Georgie, as we go to air tonight, this fire is still burning, completely uncontained. It is so hard to put the devastation into words. Home after home like this one have just been left a smouldering wreck. There are thousands of firefighters who are working to contain this, but they are exhausted, they are running out of water, and they are completely stretched to the limits. Right now, at least 150,000 people have been forced out of their homes under evacuation orders, and many thousand more have been told they could be next. Tonight, here in Los Angeles, there are so many people, Georgie, who simply don't have a home to go back to.
Just devastating. Lauren Tomasi, thank you. The Los Angeles suburbs of Pacific Palisades and Malibu are home to the rich and famous, and their mansions were also at the mercy of the firestorm. Celebrities are among those who have had to abandon their homes, the flames only stopping when they reached the ocean.
Apocalyptic, the only way to describe it.
Oh my God.
We have no water. We're doing the best we can.
Oh my God.
In the City of Angels, scenes from hell, an inferno raging through the suburbs of Palisades and Malibu. Homes crumbling as they're devoured by flames. More than 1,700 firefighters facing unfathomable conditions, almost helpless against the ferocity and size of the inferno.
The fire is growing. We have no percentage of containment.
Residents on entire streets left to fend for themselves.
That's heartbreaking.
Home after home after home on fire more than 24 hours after this blaze first broke out. The strength of the wind shows you the danger of this fire. The water bombers have been allowed back into this area of Pacific Palisades, but it's places like this, streets like this, they need them, and they need them fast. The Pacific Palisades fire has now burnt through more than 6,000 hectares, an area so big it would encompass the Sydney CBD, Melbourne's too.
This is horrific and looks like a war scene from over, Ukraine or Russia. It's awful.
Flames stretching all the way to the sea, homes along the famous Malibu beach wiped out. Fire jumping the Pacific Coast Highway and razing waterfront properties. Australian James Willis stayed until the last minute, trying to protect his home.
We're evacuating now. The fire's literally miles away.
Escaping with his dog and one bag. Today, finding out everything else is gone.
It's gone. I've lost everything, so.
It meant a lot to you, didn't it?
Yeah, it's my home. It's everything I own is in there. So you showed me the photo of my house gone, literally, half an hour ago. That was our little slice of heaven on the beach, and that was our community.
Aussie actor Vernon Wells lived in Pacific Palisades. He knows how devastating fires can be.
When I was a kid in Australia, I went through this. I went through the Geelong fire. It's how we come out of it that matters.
Smoke and ash, all that's left of his home.
We're losing just so much of our lives, but then we have each other.
The suburb, popular with Hollywood celebrities, Billy Crystal, Paris Hilton, Jamie Lee Curtis and Ricky Lake, among those who had to leave their homes behind. The aftermath simply heartbreaking.
This is, oh my God. What? I've never... Look at this. Beyond comprehension.
House after house levelled. Entire communities gone. Simply nothing left. The California National Guard now mobilised. Better late than never. In Pacific Palisades, Jonathan Kersley, 9 News. About 24 hours or so ago, the fire was tearing down these hills around Pacific Palisades towards the Pacific Ocean. These time-lapse images show the destructive impact of that very fire. Tonight, the winds are an awful lot calmer, and that will be relief for firefighters heading into tomorrow. But still, there is concern about what could come in the days ahead. There's concern, too, from US President Joe Biden, who has decided to cancel his trip to Italy, where he was to meet with the Pope, to remain in the United States of America. The White House says he wants to be focused on the help that's needed here, and there's plenty of it needed.
In a perverse twist of nature, these catastrophic fires are occurring in a Californian winter when it should be the rainy season. Instead, LA has been hit by a lethal combination of drought and powerful desert winds.
They are known as the devil winds, and right now in Los Angeles they're creating hell on earth. Santa Ana winds are a regular feature of LA weather, particularly in colder months. This is far from regular.
We're in the midst of a destructive windstorm right now, a once in a decade or 2 decade type of wind event, with winds now gusting upwards of nearly 100 miles per hour.
That's 160 kilometres per hour straight from the hot, dry desert and across the mountains surrounding the city. Santa Ana winds develop when a ridge of high pressure sets up across a large area known as the Great Basin, while an upper low pressure system spins across the desert southwest. The difference in pressure between the two allows strong easterly or southeasterly winds to rush down the mountainside. As that air descends, it's compressed, meaning it warms up and dries out, and those wind speeds increase even more as the air squeezes through the canyons and passes Los Angeles is known for. After a long period of drought, which LA has experienced, it creates a catastrophic combination. Most of this area has had less than a centimetre of rain in the past 8 months, drying out an abundance of growth from the wet season that came before. Fighting an LA fire in 1995, former Commissioner of Fire and Rescue New South Wales, Greg Mullins, witnessed the power of these winds firsthand.
I was astounded because a Santa Ana wind was starting up, and rather than slowing down as the fire came downhill, it sped up because of these downslope winds. And that's something I've never experienced in Australia.
Creating an impossible task.
So the firefighters are on their first priority, saving life, not even trying to save properties because they know they can't.
A fire catastrophe that is virtually unstoppable.